This is part 2 of mocking up the first dress on my Taylor Swift inspired series, where I'm making a vintage dress inspired by each of her albums. Currently, I'm working on Debut, which is the first one. Okay, I've cut all of my pieces out and I've got as much as I can pinned together to start sewing. And when I'm making non-wearable mock-ups like this, I'm not going to be worrying about finishing my seams. I'm not adding pockets to this version yet because it's a waste of fabric and of my time. So I'm really just focusing on how it fits. Something I also like to do when I'm doing mock-ups like this is to use a longer stitch length. This means two things. One, it's going to be sewing a lot faster. And two, it's going to be a lot easier to unpick when I inevitably have to unpick it, because I'm probably going to be making changes and I'm going to have to unpick this so that I can transfer those changes onto my pattern paper. Okay, I haven't stitched the skirt on yet because I know there's changes that need to be done to this. I'm not going to alter the skirt. What I'm going to do is there will be obviously more skirt than top by the time I'm done with it. So I think I'm going to add some gathering stitches to the skirt and have that fullness managed that way. I like the collar. I think it's nice and pointy. I think it's a good shape and I like where it's sitting. So the collar is good. I also really like the yoke and it worked out. I definitely need to make this smaller. Ow. Trying not to poke myself, but failing. I think a lot of it is going to be the side seams. I still think I might need a dart here though. This needs to stay here. So, I don't know, something like that. Are they about the same size? Not quite. Oh, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off and now I'm going to carefully move these things on over to the fabric. So like translate these changes onto the fabric. So I want to mark this kind of dart. I want to mark where I have my pins in on the sides. And then I'm going to make these changes. So then I'm going to sew this on. Then I'm going to try it on again before I remove any of the excess, before I cut anything off. See how it's looking and how it's feeling. If I like the changes and if they fit well, then I will unpick everything and transfer those changes over onto the pattern. I have the dress, or the mock-up, I guess. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to. It gave me a chance to try out the ideas that I wanted to try out with minimal risk. So this means that in the next episode, we're gonna get started with sewing the dress. So make sure you're following along for that.